Parshas Mishpatim, good Chodesh, Rosh Chodesh Adar. Just to start off, we know that Mishinechnas Adar Marbin Besimcha, and if you look in the Shulchan Aruch in Siman Taf Reish Pei Vav Sev Katan Hey, I believe it says over there, the Magen Avram, he brings that this is a halacha to be besimcha in Chodesh Adar, in this month of Adar. Now, without even saying any sort of divrei Torah on this, we already see that it's not a midas chasidus to go above and beyond and to be happy. It's a halacha. It's a halacha in Shulchan Aruch, like achilas matzah on Seder night. It's a halacha in Shulchan Aruch. I don't know if it's the Raisa, but it's definitely brought in Shulchan Aruch. The Magen Avram brings it. So that might bring a little bit more of a zrizus to this mitzvah if we picture it as a halacha, not just as a midas chasidus. Not just a nice thing, but rather an actual halacha. Now, it is a hard thing to attain, but if a person's misplaining in how much HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us every day, it might bring a person to more simcha. Anyway, onward with the Vart. Rav Shach calls this time a time of Kabbalah Satira, Kimu v'Kiblu. It is the time that we read Parshas Mishpatim, Parshas Yisro last week. Parshas Yisro is filled with Aseres HaDibros, with HaKadosh Baruch Hu coming down into Har Sinai, with us listening to the Aseres HaDibros. And then this week's Parasha, Nasa v'Nishma, we accepted it. We said, Hashem, we want the Torah. And this is actually it's a medrash, it's Gemara in Shabbos, Tapeches. It's brought down in Megillas Esther, Kiva v'Kimlu, and Perek Tes, Pasuk Chav Zayin. Right? It's not just Rav Shach, but I saw Rav Shach bring it down. And he's masber that this time is called the Zman of accepting the Torah. What does it mean, Kiblu v'Kiblu? Accept it. Kimu is a lashon of to be mekayim something, for it to have a lasting effect. And v'Kiblu means to accept, literally. What are we accepting? The Gemara darshans that at the first, when we originally accepted the Torah, Hashem was kafu alei har kegigis. He held over a mountain over our head and said, accept the Torah, I want you to accept the Torah. He wanted us. And later on, when it came to Esther and to Mordechai, we accepted it again. It was a new Kabbalah, ba'ava. Hashem, we want to be Yidden, we want it ba'ava, we want to accept the Torah, b'ratzon, with happiness. And it was a full acceptance, a new acceptance. And the Chacham set up for us exactly how for us to make a Kinyan HaTorah, how for us to make a Kabbalah HaTorah. It's not the pshat that we have to put our heads in the Gemara, go do a nice thing, be a yin. The Chachamim set up the way for us to make this Kinyan HaTorah, this Kabbalah HaTorah. The pshat says, it's brought in Pirkei Avos, and Per Kinyan HaTorah. Ein Kinyan Torah l'loy memches kinyan, and we know there's the 48 ways to acquire Torah. It's a kinyan. The same way we learn in yeshiva, there's different ways to be kind of things. There's a kinyan yad. There's a kinyan chatzir. When you have a kinyan chatzir, we know there's a t'nai that it has to be a chatzir ma'amish tameres. You have to make sure there's no, if it's firatz kedarka, if you're zarek and aron, keep a pesach zev, yatzah pesach acher, aver shein tzayf l'noyach, there's kinyanim meshicha, the whole mezachas kedushin is filled with different kinyanim. There's ways to actually acquire something. When you would do a kinyan hagbah, you pick something up to be kaineh. If it's not higher than three tvachim, it's not a hagbah. You did nothing. I picked it up, but if you didn't pick it up high enough, you didn't do the kinyan. It's the same for Torah, Shach explains. It's beautiful if a person's sitting and learning. But without the kinyanim of the Torah, and we'll go through Amir Tashem, a few of them, a person might not make the kinyan Torah. He might be a heilig yid, but he may not be called a kinyan nicker. He might not be considered someone who's makabel the Torah. Dr. Shach, there's a few, if we look through them, we'll find, for example, one of the kinyanim is called Shmias Ha'ozen. We talked about it last week. You have to use your ear. One of them is called Arichas Sefasayim. And Rashi says over there, it means don't be megam Torah. Don't stutter over maybe a vart when you're saying it. Don't do like I'm doing. Really, really say over the vart clearly. Say it over concise. Say it over with clarity. Don't be megam. And a lot of these, if we go through the 48 different ones, we'll find that some of them might not even have direct shaykhis to Torah. We might find exactly how do we see that this would make me kind of the Torah. But if we understand, like Rav Shach explaining, that it's a kinyan. Now, there's certain ways to acquire things. Now, a chalip, and you pick up a handkerchief, and that makes that kinda. We don't directly understand it, but this is the das of the Torah, and this is the way that a person could be kind to something. So it's the same with Torah, that we need to do these specific things in order to be kind to the Torah. Now, this man of Kimu v'Kiblu, right before Purim, is a time that naturally it's the end of the winter's man, and we shvach it up in a lot of different inyanim. We've been doing things for a while since we've been pushing through this winter with hopefully being kavuas from Rosh Hashanah and in Kabbals we've taken on, but it naturally gets more lax throughout the winter's man. And I heard over from my brother Shlita, who said over from his Rashiva Rabbi Ivanovich Shlita, who has a yeshiva in the all the way upper west side, that in Washington Heights, that if a person's feeling a little bit shvach at the end of the zman, he shouldn't take that as something that could make him even sad. It's fakert. If you're feeling shvach at the end of the zman, that means that you had a zman. You can only have soif zman if you had a zman. It's really a person can understand that if he's feeling weak at the end of something, it's because he put in effort. It's because he actually pushed himself. That gives him chiyas. That now he has strength to go on. He says, "Wow, I had a great zman. I had a great winter. I want to finish this up strong." Relating the Parshas of Yisro and Mishpatim, because it's a time of Kabbalah Satira. When we get to Purim and we want to be in a Zman, we want to be in a time of Adar Yada. We want to be in a time of celebration, which is also nispashet. It spreads to really the whole month of Adar, a time of Simcha. This is the time of Kimu v'Kiblu. We have to be mechazik ourselves in this fourth quarter, in the 2-minute warning, for the last 14 days we have until Purim. Emir Hashem will be Zoicha of Adar Yada on Purim. We should be Zoicha to have Simcha, to put a smile on our face. And it should bring, my father-in-law tells me that, are we happy because we win? Or do we win because we're happy? The avodah of Simcha, the avodah of Ivdu as Hashem b'Simcha, the avodah of the Kimu v'Kimlu, to accept the Torah, and all these memches kinyanim. This is the time to do this. Mir Hashem, we should be Zaycha to make a Kimu v'Kiblu and reach an Adar Yada on Purim.